I never thought I'd be the man telling a story like this. We met in college. She was smart, kind, always a little shy. I was the extrovert, the guy who made her laugh. Opposites attract, right? We fell hard and fast. After graduation, I proposed with a ring I couldn't afford, and she said yes through tears. We got married under a gray sky, surrounded by friends who said we were the ones who'd last. We had 2 beautiful kids, a boy and a girl. I worked 2 jobs when I had to, just to keep us afloat. She stayed home until the kids went to school, then started teaching part-time. I thought we had balance. I thought we had love. But something shifted 2 years ago. She became distant, cold. She stopped asking about my day, and when I tried to help with hers, she brushed me off. I assumed it was stress. Teaching had become overwhelming, the kids were getting older and more independent. I made excuses for her detachment. Until one night, I found a text on her phone while she was asleep in the next room. It wasn't just a single message. It was an entire thread. His name was Brandon, a fellow teacher. The messages were flirtatious at first, then explicit. Pictures, plans, emotions. The worst part? They joked about me, called me boring, predictable, the roommate. I felt like the air was ripped from my lungs. I didn't confront her right away. I needed to be sure. I spent weeks quietly gathering everything, screenshots, call logs, even recordings of late-night FaceTimes when she thought I was asleep in the next room. She wasn't just having an affair. She was in a second relationship, one I didn't even know existed. When I finally confronted her, she didn't cry, she didn't beg. She just stared at me and said, "I haven't been happy in years." I asked why she didn't just leave. She shrugged. The kids, the house, security. It crushed me. I moved out the next week into a small rental. I couldn't sleep for days. The kids asked why I was gone. I said, "Mommy and Daddy need space." I didn't want to poison them. But within a month, she was introducing Brandon to them as Mom's friend. They went to the zoo together, took photos. My son called him Bran in passing, like he was just another adult in their lives. I tried to take the high road. I tried to be civil. But the worst betrayal wasn't the affair. It was what she did next. She filed for custody and claimed I had emotional instability. She said I'd yelled, been distant, made the home unsafe. I couldn't believe what I was reading. The same woman who slept beside me for a decade was now painting me as a danger to the kids. I had no criminal record, no history of violence, just heartbreak. But in court, perception mattered. I was forced to prove I wasn't what she claimed. I hired a lawyer, brought my evidence, and still, I barely held on to joint custody. She got the house. The kids stayed there most days. I became the part-time parent. Birthdays, holidays, weekend visits. Every moment I had with them felt like trying to rebuild something she worked to unravel. She told them lies. Small ones, but sharp. Daddy left us. Daddy didn't want to try. Brandon takes better care of us. They repeated her words like lines from a play. I cried alone in my car once after dropping them off. My daughter had hugged me stiffly. My son barely looked up. I wasn't their father anymore. I was just someone who used to live in their house. But I didn't give up. I showed up every time. I made their beds when they visited, cooked their favorite meals. I let them talk even when it hurt. I smiled even when it felt fake. I showed them I was still dad, even if their mom rewrote the script. Therapy helped, for me and eventually for them. My daughter started opening up. She once whispered, "Mom said you didn't love her anymore." I told her I loved her enough to forgive. She chose not to stay. That was the turning point. A year later, the kids started texting me again. Random jokes, homework help. I miss you, Dad. Slowly, their trust returned, not because I fought for custody, but because I never stopped showing up. I still see Brandon in their photos sometimes, still hear his name mentioned, but I don't react. I don't trash him. That's not my role. My role is to be the safe place, the one they can come back to when they need the truth. I lost the life I thought I had, but I didn't lose myself. I rebuilt, one bedtime story at a time, one drop-off hug, one quiet walk around the block. I am not the man she described in court. I am the man who stayed, even when I was cast aside. This isn't revenge, it's redemption. Because being a father isn't about the time you're given, it's about what you do with it.